Japan was clinical throughout 2 days of competition, including the final where they jumped out to a 28-7 lead over Hong Kong, before surrendering 2 inconsequential tries to close out the Korea leg of the Asia Rugby 7 Series. With the season on the World Rugby 7 Series quickly approaching, can Japan make it 3 from 3 to close it out in Asia?
Takes him off the outside!
What's the beauty?
Oh, bang, he gets nailed by Takiri. Lovely rugby there from Korea.
What a tremendous effort.
He'll just put his head down, over he goes!
With 2 legs in the books, the Asia Rugby 7 Series moved to Colombo, Sri Lanka, for the 3rd and final stop. Barring a catastrophe, Japan was well placed to finish atop the table as they prepared for the start of next month's World Series. Below them was Hong Kong, a near lock for a spot in the World Series qualifying tournament, and 3 teams, China, Sri Lanka and the Philippines, who were battling for a single additional qualifying place.
These teams are pushing themselves, they're getting right up there, they're challenging, and right in that middle section there, we've got any team can beat any other team. And also in the top section, they're all competing, and it's all down to the way the series has been set up over the years, how we built it, men and women. It's doing really, really well.
The current iteration of the series has basically been in place since 2010, when the Sevens competition encompassed 12 men's teams, prior to a high-performance dictate from World Rugby 3 years ago. And while the names atop the current points table remain the same, the quality of play over almost a decade of Sevens tournaments has improved dramatically throughout the ranks.
Well, it's been a long journey for Asia Rugby, and in the last 8 to 10 years, the quality of play, the quality of players, whether it be coaching, refereeing, whatever, has just gone absolutely above expectations. We are now competing on the world stage. So it's just generally, I would say, we are very, very happy with the progress we've made.
The area of perhaps greatest improvement has been in the ranks of the women. Today's series has 8 solid representatives, competing as an equal half of all 3 yearly Asia Rugby 7 Series events. And like the men's competition, the rewards for Asian success are significant.
We started off with a tournament, a trophy. Any team can come in, they can test themselves, they can try against the other teams, see where they stand. The cream rises to the top, then they come into this series here. 3 legs, and what opportunities the winners have. They go on. We've got 3 teams from Asia going to go into the qualifier for the World 7 Series. For the Olympics, we've got 2 that are going to get there with the possibility of a 3rd.
The Asia Rugby 7 Series originally came into existence as an avenue to improve regional play and as a way for the Hong Kong Union to fairly provide places into its world-famous Sevens event. In the interim, the popularity of the Sevens Code has grown to encompass world stalwarts like Nigeria, the United States and Japan. Today the game has surpassed all expectations, becoming an indispensable gateway into major events like the World Rugby 7 Series and the Summer Olympic Games.
I do believe that we've done extremely well. I mean, from what it started off as a social tournament, today, just to get a place on the Hong Kong Sevens, now we have our players competing at, the world stage, at the Asian Games, Olympics, and various multi-sport events. So we've come a very long way, and we are very, very happy with the progress that we've made.
The women's side of the draw was straightforward, with China already qualified for this year's World Series, and Japan, Kazakhstan and Hong Kong almost certainly going through to the World Series qualifying tournament for next year. The men's side, however, was a different story. Yes, Japan was gearing up for the November start of the World Series, and Hong Kong was as good as through to the next year's qualifying tournament. But three teams, China, Sri Lanka and the Philippines, were in a dogfight for the one remaining qualifying place. With the Philippines in need of a place in the semi-finals, Korea handed them a gift by fielding their second developmental side of the series. The Philippines gladly accepted, scoring 4 unanswered tries to finish the match, going on to win a lopsided 34-5 encounter. Down 19-5 at the break, Malaysia, fighting for its 7 series survival, clawed back an early second half try to cut the Philippines' lead to 7. But the Philippines answered on its next possession and ran out 24-19 winners to secure a spot in the semis and keep its World Series qualifying hopes alive. On day 2, the Philippines were looking to make it 3 straight pool wins, and they jumped out to an early lead against Japan. The reigning 7 series champions quietly replied 2 minutes later and took a 7-5 lead into half-time. The Philippines jumped back into the lead, crossing over at the 8-minute mark of the second half. But Japan answered with 2 converted tries and ran out 21-12 winners to finish safely atop Group A. The Philippines, for its part, did what it needed to do to give itself a shot at a place in next year's World Series qualifiers. In a match that would almost certainly knock one of the 3 teams seeking the final World Series qualifying place out of the running, the host Sri Lanka answered an early China try to draw level. Danushka Ranjan followed that up with a 75-metre solo effort to give Sri Lanka the lead. On the cusp of half-time, Surya Bandara picked up from the breakdown and raced in for what would eventually be the match winner. Sri Lanka 19, China 12. In a match China had to win if they were to maintain any hope of a place in the World Series qualifying tournament, Hong Kong came out strong and never let its foot off the gas. 5 first half tries, all converted, left little doubt that China would be relegated to the consolation bracket. In all, Hong Kong crossed over 7 times to win comfortably 47-7. Regardless of the outcome of the Pool B decider, Sri Lanka was going to need to beat the Philippines at some point in the knockout round if they were to latch onto the final World Series qualifying place. Hong Kong scored the first 2 tries for a 14-0 lead. On the cusp of half-time, Sri Lanka's Kevin Joseph got one back for the host, and Sri Lanka was only a try down at the break. But Hong Kong restored its 14-point lead before Sri Lanka scored what would be the final try of the match, Hong Kong winning 21-12 to top the pool. China missed its second semi-final in a row and will miss the World Series qualifying tournament as a result. The Asia Rugby 7 series was in Colombo, Sri Lanka, for the 3rd and final leg of the series. The hosts were looking to nab the final place on offer for next year's World Series qualifier, and a win over Japan in the first semi-final would almost certainly do the trick.
And here they come on the field now. This is the moment the crowd's been waiting for. Have Sri Lanka got what it takes to upset this Japanese side? And just an early stretch of the Sri Lankan defence here. Motomura back on the inside channel. And Sakai, they're playing with real urgency here, aren't they? normally a little more relaxed and composed. So Achima, they can't stop this huge man. He's in, the leading try scorer for the series, goes in for another one. Shino gets us underway. They form a nice pod there. Sri Lanka, they've secured possession. Their turn with the ball. A long way to go. They'll be looking for Danushka Ranjan and Kevin Dixon. There goes Riza Rafadine. Look how quick they come up in the arc, the Japanese defence. Now they're putting on the hammer. This is good from the Sri Lankans. This is Danuk. Danuk beats the tackle. He's got Nishikawa to beat. Danuk's got the legs on him. And what a reply from Sri Lanka. The big dive. Under the post they go. What a beauty from Sri Lanka. Here's the man. Straightening up into the halfway now. He's looking for runners. Left and right. They're coming. Here is Nakazawa. Nakazawa gets taken by Kevin Dixon. Nishikawa then fires it across. Motomura looking for, look at that on the short ball. It's Daizawa. He beats one and he heads for the post and the lead changes again. It's all on here at the racecourse. We're off to the horses. Daizawa, the campaigner, dots it down. Eventually Rodden awards the try. Motomura opens the legs, in and out, gets away from Sudam. Can he pop it up? Maybe he should have. Fancied himself to get up and go again there. Temporarily slowed them down. Daizawa. Nishikawa now heads himself for the posts. Sakai's there, he wants to get his hands on it. He'll sort things out. Coming hard and straight, Soachima back to Sakai, and that's cool work, isn't it? The two star players for Japan, Sakai, Soachima. Japanese defence not given an inch here. Look at Sakai there, he's over the top. Shows a bit of daylight to Rodden, wins the ball, and here they come. Just running with the ball in two hands. Can he pop it up to Nakazawa? No. Referee happy for that one to go on. Soachima with the flat bullet across the face of the players to Daizawa, who goes in for a second. Here we go now. Kevin Dixon absolutely brings that grandstand to its feet on the far side. And they say, don't forget about us. From the restart, they get it into the hands of the speedy character. Goes in for yet another try this weekend. Here's Hayashi. Fresh legs for Japan. Runners coming from everywhere. Up comes Dansha. Makes this tackle. Had to be made. Nakano now. Up to Daizawa looking for his hat-trick. He's got Noguchi with him. The other fresh legs on. Noguchi gets smashed into the flag and says thumbs up.
Thank you. Time on.
Yoshihiro Noguchi takes the 5th score for Japan. And they're really attacking this Sri Lankan defence now, aren't they? Here's Fukumoto. The defenders get on him, and that's well recycled. That's very quick ball from Japan. They're on fire now. Hayashi, Soachima, again, he gets up. The old kickstart motorbike. And this time he's close enough to finish it off. They're up against the machine here. Here's Danuk. Gets chopped down nicely by Hayashi. Pops it up to Amalka Guranatne. And Mr. T goes down to the corner there. Well done. Good determination. Staying in the game.
It's always tough to prepare for a game against a home team on their home ground with a lot of passion and a lot of pride. So we just thought bringing structure to the game would get us over the line, and it probably showed there towards the end there by just sticking to our game plan and letting the ball do the work as opposed to the man trying to do too much work.
Sri Lanka's loss could be the Philippines' gain if they could knock off Hong Kong.
Here we go then, the Volcanoes up against Hong Kong, who are running right hot themselves. Neville out to Christie. Hong Kong starting a few of the bench players. Christie is one of them. Gets the inside ball from Nadoni, sets it up for Herbert. And the youngsters combine here. This is the rubber man who won't be stopped from there. And Ryan Howe desperately lunges at Liam Herbert, and brilliant inside support from Christian Herbert. Now, Tim Berry, the Volcanoes, they've shown us through the series that they can score tries against anybody from anywhere. A reverse spiral pass, interesting there. Here goes Fogarty. Look at Herbert there, what a spot tackle from him. That takes all sorts of balance and timing. Boheni, they're very deep and static. Someone needs to come on here. Jonico Hardwick takes on Boko, and Nadoni goes in for the massive rip there. And they scoot back the other side. Trying to get on the outside of Lee Jones here. Herbert comes across to help Jones. The young and the old pairing up together to take Ryan Howe. He's a real danger player. Here they go now. They're finally into the half. Hardwick on the outside of Nadoni, and they've done it. They've probed side to side, gently, patiently. It's 3-on-3 here. Hood, and Hood just goes straight down the middle, and not going to be caught by Hardwick, is he? Yes, great work from Jonico Hardwick. And over the ball goes Justin Comedy there, and a beautiful bit of teamwork between those two, and off they go. Keeping the pressure right on Hong Kong. Boheni. Unbelievable from Hardwick. Thought Hood was in. Dawson now, he gets through, he beats Christie, there's no one at home. Joe Dawson's going to go 70 metres and put this one back in the court of the Philippines. And they've turned what was almost a certain 7 points there to Jamie Hood in Hong Kong. They've turned it into 7 points down the other end. That is tremendous work. And Bodaka, well, he looks quietly happy there. Jones to Lawa. He steps off the left. Look at him just charge into the defence there, and they tag up on him. Chris Bird is on there. Hasn't seen much of him this weekend. Here we go. Oh, just off the mark, Neville. That was danger signs. Here's the 22 now to keep Hong Kong out here. It'll be a tough ask. Going high is Joe Dawson. Neville shrugs him off. Jones gets it away like a hot potato. Tomasi Lawa again goes front on at the defence. Don Coleman very nearly pinches that one. Kadu Lee, he'll finish from here surely. And Hashimoto right on the spot to see it. Last minute of play. Boheni to Berry. Can they bury Hong Kong here with a final score? He's got to hold on to it. Morrison with the tackle. Oh, look at that, going in hard. It's James Christie.
Wow, terrific play by Hong Kong. They've held their nerve here. Let's see if they can finish with a shot.
Morrison gets taken by Young. He gets up and goes again. The leading try scorer is going to bag a sixth, is he? And that's going to be the ball game, surely. Morrison, not held, goes in for a sixth try of the tournament.
Good to get the win at the end of the day. It was a scrappy performance. I thought, you know, some of the new guys, some of the younger guys really stood up, which is a plus for us. We're looking at that next layer underneath in our squad. But the Philippines, they bring a physical edge, which we struggled on times. Contact area, they were really good disrupting our ball. And they like to play as well. I thought, particularly when we played in the first tournament in Hong Kong, they've evolved as a squad. They play a little bit more rugby. They're not only direct with some of their big ball carriers, but they're really effective in what they do. And we struggled with that at times. So, yeah, pleased to get the win, but there's lots to work on, particularly when we play against Japan, because there'll be another step up again.
Six of the 8 men's teams have made semi-final appearances in the 2018 Asia Rugby 7 Series. Not so for the women. Sri Lanka marked the third time in 3 events that the top 4 teams, Japan, Kazakhstan, China and Hong Kong, have progressed to the cup side of the competition. First up in Colombo, Japan and Kazakhstan.
We're down to the nitty-gritty. Japan, Kazakhstan, our first cup semi-final here. What a cracker this is going to be.
Crunch. Bind. Set.
As they win a scrum here. Numatova just goes straight from the base. And she's going to beat Hirano. It's first blood to Kazakhstan. Another scrum for Kazakhstan. And a Yakovleva takes it just across the halfway there. Look at Okuroda getting there and make a real nuisance of herself. She's done well there, up against 3 Kazakhstani. Susumi now sets off the little speedster Honecker. She brings it round towards the post. That's what she can do.
Oh, that's a massive hit.
No advantage.
Come back for the penalty.
All the way.
Anna Yakovleva out of the gate there. On a knife edge this game, 7-all, not rolling away, says Charlie Brown. Hirano with the ball to Nakamura. She's got to get herself involved in this game. Here goes Susumi, little bit of space, puts on the goose. Stepanuga though, just gets the fingertip on Nakamura back on the inside. Ah, and Terry Ieva had her. Lunging desperately at Chiharu Nakamura, and 2 tries in 2 minutes. Back to Numatova. Here goes Yakovleva looking for Stepanuga. She can go herself. Just gets pulled down though.
Sensational tackle for Susumi there.
Proskarina knocks it on now, and they've got to soak up pressure. Nakamura looks for Okuroda. Yakovleva takes her in a good spot tackle. She makes another few metres out of it though. They've got numbers here if they get it wide. Can they work Baktiva Kololo into a gap? She's into the gap. Can she get on the outside of Baktibayeva? She does. Dispatches of her, no problems. And another critical try to the diminutive Baktiva Kololo. Here it is now with Tanaka into the hands of Susumi. She's got a couple to beat. Comes back against the traffic. Good tracking tackle from Yakovleva, nails her. They win the penalty. Okuroda goes quick. She's only about 6 metres out. Beats a couple of tackles. Wrong foot's the last defender. Goes over in 2. Scores the try against 4 Japanese Kazakhstan players. Yumi Okuroda. Kazakhstan go for the shunt. Just going sideways. Hirano. The big show, the big fade. Nakamura's there, and the fresh legs of Askarova does the trick for them. Kluchnikova now in 9. Stepanuga. She just puts her head down, tries to reach out. Is that a double movement? No, Charlie Brown's right there, and he says, try Kazakhstan.
香港、韓国ってやっぱりこう簡単にやっぱ失点する場面が多かったんで、ここまでこうディフェンスにフォーカスした練習をやってきて、その成果が今日は出て、失点は最小限に抑えれたかなというところが一番の勝因だったと思います。
With Japan through, Hong Kong and China were next.
Here we go then, it's time for the second cup semi-final here between Hong Kong and China from the Racecourse International Stadium in Colombo. Will they look to just soak up this 2 minutes, or will they look to punish Hong Kong? We know they've got 3 or 4 players. They give away the penalty though. Hong Kong need to exercise some patience here. It'll come. They've got to find the space. Sham. Good tackle from Wang Yu. Probably the tackler of the tournament for mine. Lee Fires a long one to Olsen Thorne. She drags Wu along. Nearly gets away from her. It was desperation. Here goes Chong Kai-Yan. Chong Kai-Yan on the outside of Wang Ran. She finally goes in, and Hong Kong it is. Look at the smiles. Pick and go from G. Got to be alert around the fringes there. Kwong it was with the tackle. Trying to desperately work a turnover here, Hong Kong. China seem to be struggling to find their way through, but off the left foot goes Zhao. And she sets her sights on the post, and just like that, bang off the left. The covering tackler on the inside wasn't quite there. Olsen Thorne makes the bridge, secures the ball. They're going to have to look for, say, Aggie Poon. Who have we got here? It's Aggie. The guy works, Express gets on the outside. She's got no one to beat. Coming after her is Yang. She's not going to get her. They spotted the threat. They found the space out wide. That is terrific from Hong Kong. Look at the bench on their feet. They come to Stephanie Chan on the right. Chong gets it back. Can't quite link up with Kwong, and Jang it is with the tackle. Soaking up this time. We're into the last minute now. Olsen Thorne gets her run a little bit. Badly timed. Lee can't give it to her. They've just got to hold on, Hong Kong. Or they've just got to score. One gets floated out to Chong from Poon. She wrong foots. Zhao. How about that, everybody? Hong Kong are going to win this cup semi-final.
Firstly, I'm really delighted for the girls. It's been a long time coming. We play them a lot. We play Japan a lot. We play all, and it's been a long time to get that victory. I think it was we were systematically much better, stuck to it right throughout. We didn't have as many individual errors during the course of that. Defensively, that was, and that then gave us a little bit of control on attack and patience. And we just didn't panic. We knew what we wanted to achieve, and we just stuck to that.
With all eyes on World Series qualifying, there was a different sort of competition happening on the consolation side of the points table. Chinese Taipei looked rejuvenated in the first two legs of the series, while Malaysia looked certain to be relegated. But Malaysia turned the tables in Sri Lanka, and now Chinese Taipei needed a win over Korea in the 7th, 8th place playoff to steer clear of the relegation zone.
Oh, look at that. Strong running from Yu, and he just makes a gap where there wasn't one. Can he defend from two, and two can't hold him? And try scorer Yu has really got the taste for it now. Here they come. This is brilliant from the Koreans. And over, is Lee going to finish this one off? Yes, he is. Here come the Koreans through a turnover, and Lee Gyeon, he's been well chased and pulled down by Liu. Commendable chase by Liu. And he won't let him back to his feet. Oh, here he goes. He's in Kang Ho Bin. Good support from the big man. Giving the ball lots of air. Players coming from all directions, and well, that's a fantastic try to Chinese Taipei. Similar to the Korean effort in the first half.
With Chinese Taipei's loss, a win over China would see the Malaysians through on points differential.
And here's Lu Luda. He's a big favourite of ours. Hooks up with Jang, and Nasharuddin for all of his effort and toil. Well, he's pulled off one, has he? Goodness me. Can he flick it up? There's two Malaysians there. Here is Zulasham. Have China worked to get back? They're still coming back. Here's Hazim, and he's too good from there to be stopped. Not enough Chinese players. There's still three coming back behind the ball. Here comes Joseph Gordon. He gives it to Hazim. Look at this guy go. Oh, he puts on the change of pace. He's class, this man. What a joy to watch. He is flying the flag for the Hibiscus. Try number 2 to him. Here goes Han. Beats the two inside shoulders there. He just needs to flick this one up. Lou's on hand, there's no one in front of him, and he's got eyes only for the try line, Lou Luda. Hand the playmaker, what a pass that is. Pan, he is quick, he goes inside Nasharuddin. That is a brilliant finish, hand and Pan, as we've seen before. Look at this guy go. Skits out of one, gets around the other, looks up for Hazim, and how about that? These two, we identified them as threats, and they have collaborated down that far side again to swing this match. Oh, look, here we go. It's she. One more pop will do it. Malaysia clinging on here. Lou Luda launches himself, and he's desperately, agonisingly short. Oh, they've done it. They've done it. It's Fu Ying Lee.
So Chinese Taipei remain in the Asian Rugby 7 series thanks to China's late try. It was now down to Sri Lanka and the Philippines to battle it out for the final World Series qualifying spot.
Tim Bohini straightening up, comes Tim Berry. They're going down channel one, aren't they? They take on Adesha. Up to pop the ball to Joe Dawson. And just like that, 1 minute on the clock, Joe Dawson for the Volcanoes. That's loose, it's on the floor, it's anybody's. It pops up to Danushka Ranjan. Gets the ball up to Kavindu. Look at this, they break out from their own half. Naveen, after him is Hardwick. Hardwick looks like he's blowing a hammy, and he's gonna bring it round under the post from a scruffy old line out. And the crowd, well, they're on their feet. What an incredible response. Look at this from big Tim Bohini, almost up to the halfway line. Desperate stuff. Over the top goes Berry. The bounce, it's bobbling. Coming at this is Fogarty. No, it's Ryan Howe. And there's the ball. Ryan Howe keeps his wits about him, gets to his feet. Oh, that's a wonderful opportunist try there. Young goes in. Full noise, gets it to Bohini. Coming around the corner is Berry. Pops it up to Bohini. Ryan Howe looking for a second. They're not going to stop him. Howe's in for two. And how's your father? Here we go. Look at the eruption from the Volcanoes. This, their graduation, you might say, on this series. And how happy are they?
Our rhythm's been building over the past few weeks or so, and we had a strong game plan coming into this. We wanted to smother them in defence because they're quick guys, very quick guys. We didn't want to give them the chance to get around us. So I think first and foremost was being physical. Physical around the breakdown, physical in our carries, and just trying to get that front foot ball, and once we had the pressure on, not letting off.
We have a look at these teams, and obviously they're professional and we aren't, but we have to be more consistent game after game, and we've found that this over the tournaments that we've played this year, we've got better and better and better, and we're becoming more consistent, and that's what we really need. We need that consistency against the top teams, not against the smaller teams. And we don't want to be one of those smaller teams. We want to be consistently fighting against those guys. Now, look, we've got a fair way to go, but we're certainly on the right path, and the players have shown that they've got a lot of character, and they dug deep today, especially with a lot of injuries that we had.
For the third time in 3 events, the women's final featured a different matchup. This time Hong Kong would try and do what China and Kazakhstan couldn't, unseat Japan. And here we have the two best teams of the weekend so far. Hong Kong taking on this team, Japan.
Colleen Chosfeld gets this cup final underway. It's Hong Kong in their first cup final of the series against Japan. 2 times winner of the cup in Hong Kong and Korea. They're looking to clean sweep the series. Look at the break here, straight away. Hirano, Yumi Hirano, she has just bolted from 80 metres out, and no one's going to stop her, not even Chong Ka-yan. into the hands of Tateyama. Here goes Nakamura. Look out, it's Honoka Susumi. 15, 16 tries in the series for her. Susumi clears it away to Okaroda. The Japanese machine warms up. Nagata takes on Kwong and runs with her for a few meters. Yumi Okaroda. Here's Susumi probing. Danger all across the park for Japan. There she is. There she is. Can she get away? Oh, good tackle by Chong, but on hand is Emil Tanaka. They're in for try number 2. Now finally they get some go forward. Here's Chong Ka-yan looking for someone to cut. Gets the fend in on Okaroda nicely, and Chan's there to form the bridge. It's good continuity. How many phases is this? Time is up on the clock. Kwong Sao-yan gets ridden to the ground by Yukari Tateyama. Unbelievable retention here for Hong Kong. Lee goes backwards. Chong might have knocked that one forward. Yes, she has. And after about 30 phases and 1,000 passes, we reached the halftime mark. Okaroda to get them underway. Just the 2 tries. 2 good tries. Nakamura shoving one of the Hong Kong players in the back, gets away from it. Okaroda takes the tackle of Chosfold. Tateyama now, they're coming from all over the place. Oh, look at the straightening from Kurogi. And what a line she's chosen there. And she's hit that at pace, full guns blazing. Put the hammer down, goes under the posts. Bativa Kololo's on and 2, and she's had great impact on the bench this weekend. Here she goes though, Honoka Susumi. Oh, she just gets away. She's going to go in for 17th try of the series. Just when we said that she'd been so quiet. Still 3 minutes left here, and it's 24-0 as Kurogi has scored a try, pops it up to Nagata. They're rolling the bench now. Nakamura stretches Ito. Really testing that offside line there. Bativa Kololo, how good has she been off the bench this tournament? She pops one up to Yumi Hirano, who goes in for her second.
Japan wins the Sri Lankan leg of the Asia Rugby 7 series in convincing fashion to make it 3 from 3 for the series. At the other end of the table, Korea made solid progress throughout the tournament, but will be relegated to the Sevens trophy for 2019. The spectre of Hong Kong's gold medal effort in Jakarta just 6 weeks ago is fading fast as Japan look to make it 3 wins in a row in the final of the Asia Rugby 7 series. Could Hong Kong loosen Japan's grip on the series with a win in the final event?
Hong Kong, well, they've been irrepressible this weekend, scoring about 139 points in pool play. And Japan, well, they're back to their usual best. Here they come, their first real chance. Threats everywhere. Here's Motomura. He gets away. No, he doesn't get away from Herbert. Good chase by the young man. On hand is Nakazawa. They give it some width through Hashino. So Achima flies into Morrison. He lets go. He tries to beat Lee. On his shoulders, Sakai. The defenders keep coming. So Achima somehow on his feet again. Incredible play. Oh, and that's just sensational from Japan. They blow this Hong Kong defence. They work their way down the field. Kosuke Hashino. Good cleaning up by Nardoni. Kane Boko now takes on Sawachima. Morrison brings it back to short side. There was an inside offering there for Herbert. He's not needed. Nardoni goes to ground. Japan coming in with some fierce tackles as well. Christie out to Denmark. Here we go. This will test the man. He's up against Motomura. Shrugs him off. Max Denmark with a classy finish for Hong Kong. An absolute ripper for the young man, Max Denmark. Here's Sakai. He'll understand what's going on. His counterpart, Jamie Hood's not on the field. Motomura keeping possession. Nakazawa. Hashino turning Kadu Lee inside out. He comes back at him up to the 10-metre. Boko has a passive counter ruck. So Achima, look at the line he's taken there. That's incredible. He puts the hammer down, makes a hole where there wasn't one. He's got the balance and the class to just defeat two defenders, hands down.
Advantage, no call. Yes, no call. Advantage over.
Dai Ozawa takes on Morrison. There's a real urgency around this Japanese side. They are doing things at 100 miles an hour. Motomura coming across as Herbert and Kwok in the loop around. Surely he's just going to go for the line. Hoshino and Kadu Lee can't stop him. And another quality try there. Just Motomura straightening. Here he goes again, showing some twinkling footwork there. Christie gets tied up by Daizawa. Lower then to Lee. Kwok. Denmark, he's going to have another go here. Runs out of space, it closes pretty quick. Nakazawa comes across. Look at them now, they know they've got this one. The hooter sounds, they tow it through. Who there? Sawajima's going to be beaten by the bounce, denied. A final try, the big man. There is the whistle. A pulsating cup final here in Colombo in the third leg of this Asia Rugby 7 series. But it's the class of Japan. They weathered an early storm from Hong Kong and they've pulled off a clean sweep over the three legs.
The Japanese men make it a clean sweep as the 2018 Asia Rugby 7 Series campaign comes to a close. Drama from top to bottom as the Philippines survive to finish third, and Chinese Taipei thanks their neighbours to the west for a last-second win over Malaysia. Much more to come in 2019, and we'll keep you up to date across all of our social media platforms. For now, so long from Colombo.